High-grade Gold Frame Amatsu Mina Custom. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, Gundam Reviews at .net, and you've already seen the unbox and the individual parts here for this high-grade Gundam Astray Gold Frame Amatsu Mina, and you've even seen it compared to the 1/100th in terms of the parts and the quality. Very impressive, just scaled down so far. But how about the MS? Well, let's put it all together and see how this big bad frenemy stacks up. And before it's armed up, I think this Gold Frame Amatsu is definitely going to catch the eye, and that's going to be helped in no small part thanks to some Tamiya color here in the gold just done over the yellow, but overall just the design, the craziness. There's so many colors coming at you, but very complementary colors here. I think the legs look fantastic there. They are going to be covered up on the front, so you're going to be losing out on some of the extra red or blue that you'd be getting, but it's that upper body with its crazy asymmetry thanks to the stolen blitz arm there from its missing right arm, still keeping the astray panels. You've got that extra little wingling thing sticking off over there, but the crazy details carved into the head, and these seals are not detracting from it at all. This girl is looking great. For posability before it gets winged up, well, you can bring the legs pretty far forward there, and the skirts, they don't move at all, so that's not going to help. These side skirts seem flimsy at best, very easy to dislodge, but you can get the legs out almost for full splits there. These are going to bend down quite nicely, and the feet are on nice double ball joints, so the high heels can be used to great effect. These, they're going to be a little bit wiggly, but I don't think they're supposed to be, but then again, they're not falling off, so that would allow the toes to come up even further. For the upper body, you can bend down, you can bend back up, you can put it off to the side, and it's going to stay pretty impressive there. I'm always a fan of these drop-down shoulders as the gold. It's going to be moving up there nicely in a polycap. The arm can rotate around, just doesn't sound very good as it hits itself there. And the arm here, you can see it moving, and this will rotate, and it'll go all the way around with just a little bit of a sticking motion there. And the arm's going to come up almost 180. The wrists will move as you'd expect, and that head, despite the crazy headgear here, you can see that it's going to be moving up and down, and it's not going to move too far forward and back, but it can look menacingly up or down. So much details captured in such a small area. To get it properly armed up here, you can see the Tricaros has a peg which is going to fit nicely into the elbow before sliding into the custom hand. And the Wolverine claw will fit nicely onto all of the Astrays. And the backpack is hopefully going to have a nice sturdy connection here. And that is the Amatsu that we've all come to know over the years. Absolutely ridiculous, too many colors, seals all over the place, tons of problems about it, you could say. But at the same time, and it's so far away from the original design of the great-granddaddy RX-78-2 that it's just ridiculous. But for me, it's because of its ridiculousness. When you see those big wings on there, the red seals are looking good, the gold parts over the shoulders. When you spin it around on the rotating base, the fact they went to the trouble to give you all of these extra parts back there, the weapons in hand, and the fact that it's got the two arms, you always sort of miss it because this thing's just so gaudy all over the place that the fact that they go to the trouble to differentiate it, it's going to be lost on you. But that just speaks to how much cool things they've packed in to this one small high-grade package. Then again, for comparison purposes, it's not like the other Astrays are known for their restraint in their mechanical designs, or their impractical space weaponry. And prior to the OVAs, you could say that the Gundam wing designs were somewhat restrained. Here's the Gundam wing finally brought home in proper high-grade 1/144th, and you can see that it's going to be quite a bit shorter than the Astray over here. They've always done a good job, or I'm quite impressed with the way they're getting these new HGs, especially as they're going to be focusing on build fighters. I'm hoping they're all going to look good side by side in terms of height. And with a kit this flashy, you might as well go straight to wings out. That's what she would have done, that's what he would have done, and did. But just love this. Both arms look good, looking down the barrel of the Blitz's stolen arm before disappearing. Fantastic, and you can angle those wings around in whatever direction you want, although you can't really bring them back, so you're not going to be getting too many dynamic whooshing effects. But then again, they are going to look menacing from any angle, and forget about that subdued back pose that you just saw. And it's surprisingly stable coming across the other way there. You can see that with the wings, you can rotate them forward and back, but you're not going to have a full crazy range of motion with them. But both arms and the gold and the guns, everything looking sharp. Although the more I try with the wings, the more impressed I am with the mobility there. These swords on the hips, I think they're going to be problematic at best. They don't sit in there necessarily well, and then the hips just become problematic whenever you're trying to pose. But if you want to put one in hand, it's going to be good. But then again, when you compare it to the other weapons on display there, including the beam saber, which you can attach in quite nicely, I don't know how often you're actually going to pull these out. It's the kind of thing that just seems like a Seed Destiny throw-in. As for me, for melee, that Wolverine Claw is eminently cooler there, and remember that they're going to be giving you both open and closed hands for both the Blists and the Astray frames. Everything about this so far is looking good, including the playability of launching this out. The only thing it's missing is the SNIKT snikt sound. And despite the problems that high heels might lend to this kit, I'm looking at you, old Pink from Gundam Unicorn. This one is doing absolutely fantastic, and if you want to bring these forward, again, no weight issues, no stability issues, everything from every angle. It's just looking busy, crazy, deadly, and colorful, and if you go for the gold, just that much more sparkly. And don't forget that these parts here can be brought out, so you can get even more posing options here, and with the two leads that are connected, this doesn't seem to want to fit on there all that well, and it's just a little bit too long, so the gravity is going to take it in the wrong direction, but it is still another cool option, and if you just cut that down, you could actually have both of them launching out, and her looking even more menacing. And here it is, spinning around with the 1/100th for some final thoughts. Not going to do a verdict on this. You can go back and check out my red and blue frame for some thoughts about the Astrays in high grade, the new ones. But for me, this kit is just awesome. So let's talk negatives. Well, you already heard, yeah, the ones that you mount on the hips. For the swords, not too exciting there. These, somewhat problematic thanks to gravity. You can fix that up yourself. And the ugly yellow color, well, that's the kind of thing that you'd have to spend a lot more from Bandai if they had done it up in mechy parts as they had for the 1/100th. But it's the kind of thing you can fix up yourself. But on the other hand, what are we getting? A lot of people may put the seals in the negative part as well. But for me, the fact that they're taking what I love the 1/100th kit. I think it's gaudy, it's crazy, it's just absolutely ridiculous, and this high grade just matches it. And whenever you're taking something that's a lot more expensive and a lot bigger, scaling it down and just making it work just as well, if not even better. I wouldn't say it's better in any way that I've found offhand. It's also missing the gold parts down there on the feet. But I mean, it does 99% of the original, and for me, that's a great thing. When you're talking about reasonable prices, again, they could have gone mechy, paint it up yourself for a couple dollars and save a lot of money. And I think that most, 90% of the weapons, and it has oh so many, oh so unpronounceable, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. The backpack is great, the head sculpt is great, the two crazy asymmetrical arms and the way they design it on the plates, it's fun from start to finish just to see the differences from the Blitz to the Astray. Are you going to get enough parts to do up 2 arms? It would have been nice if they had given you the option of having 4 different arms, but that's just not there, and you don't really need it, because ultimately, having the gold, having the tricaros, having the Wolverine claws, having the changes to the feet down there, and if we had the male feet, this would have been absolutely perfect, but it's the kind of thing where Bandai's premium online shop is going to be remedying that. You'll just have to have 2. So what about for the future? There are some that say we don't need a master grade of the gold frame, but I'm not one of them. I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd buy it in white, I'd buy it in black, I'd buy it with high heels, I'd buy it with low heels. Whatever you want to call them, I would be there. So what do you think of this high grade? What do you think of it compared to some of the others? And do you think it has any chances of getting some other things? Could we think as ridiculous? They've got a PG red frame. Could we get a PG gold frame? Probably never. Maybe a convention exclusive in its white colors. But anyway, I would be there for that one as well. I think it's just so much fun from the manga, and it's so much fun to put together and put on your shelf. And the playability of these HG 2.0s is astonishing. So thank you, Bandai, for taking something that back in non-grade 1/144th was the 0 of the series, and we had to wait a long time for the master grade and a great high grade. But now that they're here and you can get all 3 of them, and even more with the white version coming, all the clear versions with mechy parts for the frames underneath, just tons of possibilities. Bandai, sign me up for any time you put these out. They are just too much fun, and the quality, they're just getting better and better if you can get past some teeny tiny flaws. Anyway, everybody, those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. Please let me know what you think. And don't forget, GundamReviews.net, go to the poll and vote whether you like this Gold Frame Amatsu. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. I'm going to go and read some more manga from Astray. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Do you like my new shoes?
Yes. Yes, I do.